good. Folks, we heard a rumor that Pat Simpson might be up here at Portage Glacier, but as you can see, he's not here, just me and the glacier, which is hard to see because of the sun. Catch you later. We're not too far from Pat Simpson now, folks. In fact, this may be him right here. Come in here, would you, sir? Are you? Turn around and look at the camera. Are you Pat Simpson?
Nope, I'm Bart.
Okay, out of here. Well, as you can see, folks, we're here on top of the highest mountain close to Anchorage. We'll leave no stone unturned trying to find Pat Simpson. Out. Yeah, Pat Simpson, we're looking for you high and low, tops of mountains, lakes, glaciers. I'll even put up the grizzly bears to find you. Okay, folks, we've been chasing around Anchorage all day looking for Pat Simpson. We've been to the tops of mountains, we've been to lakes, mud flats, we've been in the forest, we've wrestled with grizzly bears, and now here he is, Pat Simpson in the flesh. We are in Anchorage, Alaska. We're yelling at the camera because there isn't a microphone. We hope you can hear us. So this is another interview in our CIS History Interview series. And Pat Simpson was one of our very first major forces in the shaping of the Neural Network Council, the Neural Network Society, and the CIS. So we'll get right into the interview now, Pat. So let me just start with a box can question. What did persuade you to study engineering or science?
Seasickness.
Did you hear that, folks?
I get very seasick. And my father's a fisherman, and I grew up on fishing boats. And I realized that if the only time I could fish was in good weather, I'd be a pretty poor fisherman. So I thought, well, I'm okay in math and science. Maybe I should think about engineering, which is a good way to go for a career path. And then it was just selecting the right school.
So is it fair to say, the second question on the list is there a person that influenced your decision? And I guess I've already heard the answer to that would be your dad, the fisherman.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it was
and no better person to influence you than your dad ever, anyway.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Pat. The three core technologies of the CIS are neural networks, fuzzy systems, and evolutionary computation. When did you get involved in one of these technologies?
It was neural networks first, and I went to the University of California, San Diego, and graduated there in 1986. I think that was the same year that the PDP, Parallel Distributed Processing books came out by Rummelhart, McClelland, and Hinton. And UCSD, I guess if you will, was a hotspot for neural networks at the time, or what they called PDP technologies. And so as part of your coursework at UCSD, you took an AI or a similar course, you got some exposure to PDP, and I just got kind of interested in the idea that machines could learn. I thought that was a pretty cool thing.
All right, that's a great answer, and it's also very interesting and great that you happen to be in San Diego because, of course, that's where the actual embryonic stages of the entire society were. In 1987, the first IJCNN was held in San Diego. Were you on hand for that, Pat?
I was. Now, it was actually not a JCNN, International Joint Conference on Neural Networks, I don't think until 1989. But in 1987, they had the first international conference on neural networks, and there really was two primary personalities that brought it forth, Robert Heck Nielsen and Bart Costco. And those two guys worked with the local IEEE section. I think they got one society, I can't remember which one, it's been a while, to sponsor it, and it was a rousing success. That year I was a volunteer. I was interested in the technology. First year out of college I was working, so I couldn't really afford the registration fees, so what I would do is volunteer to go to the conference, and then I got my way into all the talks I wanted to see with all the bigwigs in neural networks. That kind of got me excited about it, and then in '88 I became the tutorials chair, returned to San Diego, and then I think it moved out of the city after that.
And of course, in just a few years, Pat, unbeknownst to you, you would become a president of the Neural Network Council. We'll get to that in a second. Let me just ask you then, what do you think the impact of the CIS has been on you?
Well, it's been fairly dramatic because early on, because of my involvement with and at that time it was the Neural Networks Council. So CIS wasn't even a terminology until 1994 with the first World Congress on Computational Intelligence, or I guess more appropriately in '93 when Jim came up with that. He also came up with fuzzy, which I thought was great. Fuzz IEEE